my name is Becca and welcome to Yellow Cat Studios. In this video, I'm making Barbie's Rapunzel dress. I'm very excited. I loved this movie when I was a kid. I found this purple dress at the thrift store a while back and I'm finally getting to this project. I have my design here. I will insert a photo of it. Basically, what I need to do to this dress is add a pink panel in the skirt, a pink panel in the bodice, line it with a bunch of gold ribbon, and I also need to make sleeves. I am doing the sleeves a little bit different than how her actual dress is. Because my fabric isn't stretchy, I'm making what's called leg of mutton sleeves. So instead of the entire forearm of the sleeve being tight, it's gonna gradually taper down to the wrist so that I can still move my arm. I think it'll work pretty well still though. I also have to make her necklace. It's just a simple purple gem necklace, and I have a wig that I need to style. It's not quite as long as Rapunzel's actual hair, but I could not find one longer, so we're gonna make it work. There's a point in the movie where Rapunzel's captor has cut her hair off, so maybe we'll just base the look off of that one. I'm very excited for this one, so let's get started. This pendant is really easy to make. I've found these little purple gemstones from Amazon, and I'm taking some gold wire and I'm shaping it around the gemstone and making a little loop at the top. And after I've shaped my wire, I'm just gluing it directly to the gemstone. I was going to use crazy glue, but I didn't have any left, so I just used school clear glue, and that worked fine for me. We're gonna work on the skirt part of the dress today, adding the pink panel to the front of the skirt. The bodice has these like princess seams at the top, so I'm gonna use those kind of as a guide and go about an inch, use these as a guide and go about an inch outside of the princess seam for the pink panel in the front. I got this pink tulle off of Amazon and I'm going to need a lot of layers to make this actually look pink on the dress. And I am just going to hand sew it to the waistline because I think that will be the easiest rather than trying to shove this dress into my sewing machine. And I'm also going to just leave the waistline as it is. I thought about pinning up this little triangle piece and giving it the straight across waist, but I think that'll bunch it up too much and make it not very flattering. So I am going to leave the waistline as it is. So, update. This tool is not going to work on its own for this dress. It looks a little more pink on camera, but in person, there is very little color to this tool so far, and I have 8 layers, and just taking some of my scrap tool and layering it over top, it's gonna take way too many layers to get this color payoff. So what I'm gonna try is I have this extra fabric and it's a little bit heavier than what I wanted to use, but I don't want to buy more fabric. So I'm gonna try this and layer a little bit of tulle over top so I get the same look. The reason I wanted to use tulle was because I wanted that flowy, light look that it would give me, but this tulle was far too sheer. I ordered it online because I didn't want to go to a store, and I did not realize it was going to be this sheer. So that's a bummer, but I think this fabric will work, and if I layer a little bit of tulle on top, it'll still give me the look that I want. Okay, so this is how it's looking. You can see the purple and the pink here, and there's also going to be some gold ribbon lining all of the pink, so I think that'll just define it a little bit more. And this fabric definitely works better than the tulle. I don't think I would have been able to have enough tulle to get this sort of pink under this layer of purple. It would have taken too much and it would have been too bulky, so glad I had that. And I'm just gonna get that sewn on and then work on the gold ribbon. So here's the dress so far. I have the pink panel in and the gold lining for the skirt. I think it's looking pretty good. Gold ribbon, and I did a couple stitches to attach some spots on the pink to the purple so that it all kind of moves together on both sides. And there is also a little bit of the pink tulle just to give it the lighter, airy, flowy look. And this is what it looks like with the rest of the skirt over top. You can still see the gold and pink through it, which is good because that's what I was counting on. Skirt's almost done. I just need to put some of the thicker gold ribbon along the entire bottom of the skirt. And then next we're gonna do the pink panel on the bodice and the ribbon going up the bodice as well. Okay, so now I'm gonna work on the pink bodice panel. So I didn't change the waistline. I'm not gonna take apart the bodice at all. I'm just gonna put the pink panel on top. I'm basically gonna follow the princess seams up until they start to curve, and I'm going to take the pink panel and just bring it all the way up and straight across. And then I'm going to gather it down in the center so that it gives me a bit of a sweetheart neckline. And after I get that on, I'm going to add the gold ribbon to the sides again. Alright, so I've made quite a bit of progress. I have the skirt mostly finished. I just need to do the ribbon along the entire bottom of the skirt, which I am doing in this thicker gold ribbon. But I have the bodice all finished. Everything is sewn on. This pink panel and the gold ribbon, and originally the panel was just straight across, but I gathered it here to give it a little bit of a sweetheart neckline, and I think it's looking really nice. So the last couple steps are sewing on the gold ribbon at the bottom and making the sleeves. Quick explanation for these sleeves. So I took a long sleeve shirt I cut off the sleeve and cut it open and traced it. I added length to the end because I knew these sleeves were too short. Cut out this pattern that I traced, and I made some slashes in the top, spread those slashes out and retraced it to create a pattern with a poofy shoulder on the sleeve. Alright, so I'm working on the sleeves, and I actually made one sleeve completely off camera just to make sure it actually worked. So this is the sleeve pattern I made, and it ended up being too small. I think if I had stretchy fabric it might have worked, but what I ended up doing was adding probably an inch around all of the pattern to give me more room and the seam allowance as well. And then I just fold and sew it along the underarm seam. So this is the sleeve, clean seam. I used the existing hem on my purple fabric so that I didn't have to worry about hemming the cuffs. So after I have sewn the underarm seam, I'm taking some interfacing and gathering one end. I'm also gathering the shoulder of the sleeve and then attaching my gathered interfacing to the sleeve and then attaching that to the armhole on the dress. And I'm also going to attempt to take some bias tape. This is a little bit small, but it's the only stuff I have, and seal off the inside seam for the sleeve, because with the interfacing and the raw edges, it's just a little bit itchy when you're wearing it. So I'm going to try and avoid that by using bias tape. And that's the last piece of the dress. After I get this second sleeve attached, the dress is done. And then I need to style the wig and put my little pendant on a gold chain. So my other bias tape was too small, so I just did the top of the sleeve where the interfacing is with the bias tape. We're all done! I think the dress turned out really nice. Can't see it in this shot like at all, but that's okay. I think it looks just like her dress from the movie. There's a couple differences, but I don't think you can really tell. I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe for more cosplay, DIY, and other content, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!